Uh-oh. Big business will come out there and score on these whole ass niggas.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for
the front page of the sports section where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Oh, shit.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now back to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Brought me to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second, moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. They're piecing together a nice drive.
Meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys gonna come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to
Vince
throw.
Young,
They'll roll it
touchdown.
out right. Give him a couple on the
Come
scramble
on,
at
man.
2nd down.
Touchdown.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open.
Goddamn.
Once the pressure forced his eyes
Goddamn
down to
Pat
see the
Cam, Phil.
rush, it was time to make a break for it.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
That one episode, 2 of it, it'll kill me. I said, you know me, I'm a user, you know what I'm saying? I gotta watch all of it.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
Bam.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll drop to throw.
Oh, man, he got too much time.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. You top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on 3rd down. Move the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 yards there and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's caught. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Number 6. 4 yards on the pickup. It's now 3rd and goal.
Let's go now. Hey, come on. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
They'll look to throw. He gets touchdown, Ravens.
Good job. Good job.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now out comes Seattle here. We'll see their offense going in just a second. Speaking of that offense, for Russell Wilson, they went out in the draft this year, got him a couple new options out wide, did they not?
They did, and you can see that they're changing their offensive philosophy a little bit. Remember Doug Baldwin, who was a great target, especially on the underneath throws, he's retired. So strategically, because they run the heck out of the football, Chris Carson was a 1,000-yard runner. They expect more from Rashad Penny this year. They want to have the ability to throw the ball deep, and the only guy they had previously, Tyler Lockett, who's going to play in the slot now with Doug Baldwin retired. So they went out and got DK Metcalf in the 2nd round out of Ole Miss, got Gary Jennings from West Virginia in the 4th round, and both of them can fly. Look for Russell Wilson, who throws a really pretty deep ball, to take advantage of that this season.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Down. 18 Gators. Watch 2. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Defense.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 12 yards there and a first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Back to throw now on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And out now come the Seahawks. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back up. It's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He's got it. Complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And just a small glimpse.
Like his work ethic, you know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Ready? 10 logo. Let's go, defense. Man up,
Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now here come the Ravens. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll throw now on the final play. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This one taken from the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. There he goes, left side. And touchdown. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, in Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against this secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right. And Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time, doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning. And he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington. But they love the big arm of this guy. And he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand. and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has their only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take this one in for a touchdown from 17 yards out as his guys are back within a single score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Now back to throw. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as leaning towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They kind of calm themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for him.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
2nd and 1. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
He'll drop to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Young quarterback, got to learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. .35 seconds to play. Everything will come down here to this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking right sideline, that's complete. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts.